temper some chocolate using the addition method or seeding method. So I am using dark curvature chocolate today. So a dark curvature chocolate is a chocolate which has a higher concentration of cocoa butter. If you're finding it difficult to source or it's very expensive, you can just use chocolate bars and add a little bit of additional cocoa butter until you get to that right consistency. So first thing we're going to do here is I have a saucepan with some water and we're going to make a bain-marie. So switch this on. And we're going to bring our water to a boil. Whilst our water is boiling, we have our chocolate which has already been prepared. So I have my measurement of chocolate, my dark curvature chocolate, and I took out 20 to 25% of that amount and chopped it very finely. So we're going to be using this to help seed or help to bring our chocolate into a tempered form. It's always very important when we are working with chocolate that we don't want to get the water into the chocolate. So the bowl that I'm going to be using on top of my bain-marie, just make sure that it's super dry, as well as your spatula or any tools that you are using. As soon as your water comes to a boil, switch it off. And we're going to put our bowl over the top along with our chocolate. Just reserve this small amount aside. We're going to be using that after. So we're going to let our chocolate gently melt until it reaches between 45 and 55 degrees Celsius. So all our chocolate is melted and I can see on my thermometer here that it's at 47 degrees, so that's fine. Now you just want to ensure that we don't get any of the water anywhere, so I always like to grab myself a tea towel and just wipe underneath the bowl. Okay. Now we're going to start adding that chopped chocolate. So as mentioned before, it's about 20 to 25%, so roughly like a quarter of the chocolate that we melted, the chocolate that we measured, we reserved, chopped it up nice and fine, and we're going to add this to our melted chocolate to start seeding it. This is the seeding method, so basically what that means is it's going to start bringing in the crystals that we're looking for to create a tempered chocolate. So we're going to melt this in, mix this in, and we want to bring our chocolate below the working temperature, so under 32 degrees, so that's kind of our goal. Stirring away, it's almost all dissolved. Our temperature reading at the moment is 32.8, but I can still see some tiny little pieces of chocolate. We are trying to get this to our working temperature, which is 32 degrees Celsius. Now my temperature is at 32 degrees, which is our working temperature. And now we want to just double check that it is tempered. So how I like to do that is you can grab yourself a little bit of baking paper, and I'm just going to dip the corner in, give it a little bit of a shake. And this should take about 5 minutes to set. And if after 5 minutes it has set, then we know that it's tempered. If it is not tempered, you can do this process again. So heating our chocolate back up to the 45 degrees, and then add a quarter of the amount of this chocolate in finely chopped tempered chocolate. Okay. So it's been a couple of minutes and I can already see that our chocolate is setting. So it's dry to the touch, which means that it is tempered, and we can use to create decorations. We can use this for molding chocolates or making bonbons. So it's important that the chocolate that you are using is at our working temperature. So have a check, and our working temperature on our tempered dark chocolate will always be 32 degrees Celsius. If it started to cool down while you're organizing your bench, You can always heat it up over a bain-marie, or you can use one of these paint stripper guns, which is really fun, and just put it on a low heat. You can just put it a little bit of heat and then give it a stir to make sure that we have it at our working temperature of 32 degrees Celsius.